guys, it's Alice here. If we haven't met in real life, I am a doula, a childbirth educator, and I like to spin the wheel of birth and see what topic we're going to talk about today. Let's do it. Okay, today we're talking about OP presentation. So there's a couple things I need to talk about OP presentation. I got them right here outside the camera. I need my pelvis again. Oops. And I need my baby. So OP presentation, if you've never heard of an OP baby, you might have heard of what people sometimes call is a sunny side up baby. So let me know in the comments if you've heard either OP or sunny side up. I want to know. I'm really curious. So what this refers to is the position of the baby as they are coming through your pelvis. And sometimes a baby is even born into the world OP or sunny side up. It's funny because sometimes I'll hear people say, yeah, my mom told me I was born sunny side up, which it's really cute. It's like, oh, that was the terminology instead of OP. Now we call it OP. Occiput posterior is what it stands for. And what it means is that the back of the baby's head is the baby is usually entering the pelvis or traveling through the pelvis with the back of their head up against your spine. So as you can see through the pelvis right here is the spine. So baby's head is up against that spine. And what OP, you think like, well, why does it really matter? Where traditionally, or I shouldn't say traditionally, a more effective way for baby to travel through the pelvis is usually looking to one side, and then they have a series of movements to get them through. But when the back of their head, which is usually the hardest part of their skull, is up against your spine, what it can lead to is a couple things. It can lead to what we call back labor is number one. And let's talk about back labor. So what that means is that in a regular non-OP baby presenting non-back labor, most people feel their contractions low below their belly button, that menstrual type cramp area. And sometimes it can start in the back and kind of wrap around to the front, but really most of their feeling sensation, most of the painful sensation that they feel is below the belly button. So in back labor, when you have back labor, a lot of times you feel most of the sensation in your back. And a lot of people experience, whereas, a contraction, you feel the painful sensation during that contraction. The rest is usually fairly restful, not a lot of sensation. With back labor, a lot of people in that rest are still feeling discomfort in their back. And so they're not necessarily getting a full rest because that back discomfort. A lot of people with the OP presenting babies will say they feel sort of a grinding in their back, a lot of pressure on their back. So that can be definitely a challenge for people. So an OP presenting baby can possibly cause back labor. Also, we have found that the traditional labor patterns that happen with early labor, active labor, and transition labor sometimes don't look the same when we see an OP baby. With OP presenting babies, sometimes we will see contractions that are closer together earlier in our labor, and they are shorter. The actual contraction is a shorter contraction. So maybe the traditional active or early labor might be 5 minutes apart, lasting a minute. For an OP baby, people in early labor, they might be experiencing contractions that are, say, 3 minutes apart, but only 20, 25, 30 seconds. So sometimes the labor pattern can look a little funky with an OP baby. Also, when we have an OP presentation, we can, sometimes the baby takes longer to descend through the pelvis because of the shape of the pelvis with the baby's head just isn't the easiest one to maximize or to make use of the way the pelvis is designed for the baby to fit. So sometimes we see a slower progress with an OP baby, both the baby's station as the baby descends through the pelvis, or with dilation and effacement of the cervix with an OP baby. Sometimes that can be slower as well. So having baby in that presentation, the last thing as we are working on pushing, the baby's fontanelles or soft spots are designed so that as the baby comes down through the pelvis, the baby's head molds. And molding meaning it changes shape a little bit just so that it can move through the pelvis and the birth canal and out into the world. So it's designed to mold and shape that way. If the baby, so imagine baby's coming down, molding, shaping. If the baby is presenting OP, the molding is not necessarily the same or as effective. And so generally the pushing phase can be more difficult and slower and harder for a baby that's OP. So there are some challenges for sure if your baby is presenting OP or sunny side up, though it does not mean that it is an automatic reason for a cesarean. There are definitely people that have pushed a baby out OP. We just might find that the norms of labor and the traditional sort of passage through labor is the same as when we have an OP baby. And certainly with the challenges of back labor might also make labor a little bit different and a little bit challenging. So there has been an increase in research and emphasis on OP babies, how to try to convince them to turn when we're in labor, how to successfully manage the painful sensations of back labor. And I will put some of the links down below, information on OP presentation if you want to dive further into this topic. Hit the like button if you found this helpful, and subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want notifications for the next time we load a big little birth video. Thanks for joining me today, guys.